Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Wadash. I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone of GMS. They are the true leaders of Israel, and I want to give a special salutations, peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered around the four corners of the earth. Alright? Now, I'm going to try to make this video as brief as possible. I don't want to make this too long. But I have 3 precepts lined up. And, if I need to get anything else, the Spirit will bring it out. But basically, I'm pretty late to speak about what's going on. As you guys know, there were a series of floods. That happened in Germany. And not only Germany, but also the border of Belgium, Holland, aka the Netherlands, okay? And I think that's pretty much it. And some parts of France as well, where they had floods happen, those 3 great main countries, and you got to understand that it was so bad. It was so bad that the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Defense issued a military state of emergency. That's how bad the floods were. So it was some heavy judgment that happened in Germany, and they said about almost 2,000 people missing, bro. 2,000 people missing, and about reaching up to 200 people killed or dead from the floods. So I'm going to play this video, and I'm going to play the rest of these videos. I'm going to go ahead and get a scripture,
Hoffentlich nicht auch noch in dein Auto.
And this current right here is not no ordinary baby wavelength. This is a rushing. These are rushing waters, This is a rushing water right here. It's not no ordinary wavelength that you can just control by balancing yourself in the water. No, this is a high speed rushing waves of waters, man. And if you get caught up in these waters, man, you just better pray and hope that the angel throws out a life support, like a stable tree or a rock, or have the angels deliver you, have you wash up somewhere that's pretty much high enough. Because as you guys can see, let me go back. I'm gonna show you guys something. You can see the height of these waters, man, and I believe this is the beginning. The height of these waters were like right up to the wheels, This is not something you can swim in. That's not something you can swim or drive a car in, Cars were being washed away. You see the rushing waters again. This right here, this is devastating, man. Look at that car. That looks like to be a hatchback or a crossover. And look at the height of the water right here. It's up to the lights, the engine. So, hey man, that's a pretty devastating flood right there, Pretty.
Hoffentlich nicht auch noch in dein Auto.
Right there. I heard this happened in Western Germany. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but from what I've heard, Western Germany, from people that have been there to Germany, and these are, rumors from Jakes. They said that they've been to Germany. They said Western Germany is where like you'll find more of the what racism or whatnot from these Edomites. So I don't know if the eastern part has more Jakes in it, or the western part has more Edomites. But either way, the western part of Germany got fucked up, this is terrible, man. This is terrible, Allah Shaya, this is terrible, and the Lord is only showing the prelude to what's to come, because in order for people to really understand that there's a higher power, the Lord really has to show His power, man, His wrath. Okay, and through the Spirit, I believe this was not done by the heart machine. I believe this was not done by the heart machine. This is definitely a spiritual phenomenon, or act of the Most High. This is a divine act of the Most High. This right here. Because when I first seen it, I was like, okay, this looks a little bit bad. But when I started looking at the video, I was like, damn, this is not no heart machine. This is definitely the Most High. And even if it's the heart machine, it's controlled by the Most High indirectly. Because the Lord puts the thoughts in the hearts of men. This is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. And the rivers of water, they're overflowing. They keep going, and it moves. Water moves. What's the word for it? Erratically. The way water moves is not logical. There's no set of patterns. Let me look for the word up. Word for out of pattern. Erratic. Yeah. That's the word I'm looking for. The flow of water, it's volatile, it's inconstant, it's unsteady, inconsistent, unpredictable. Okay, so that's how the Lord is. The Lord is unpredictable. Go back to precept. The king's heart, the heart represents the mind, labia. The king's mind is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. Okay, He turneth it whithersoever He will. So whatever the Lord wants you to go, He's gonna turn your mind towards that direction. A precept came to me, but I can't seem to remember it now. Where it says it. Um. Anyways, forget. I won't bring the precept out. I can't remember it right now. Go ahead and play more of the video.
Oh nein!
Yeah. These people are in distress, man. They are in distress. Okay, look at that. They better pray and hope that they have insurance, man, and that the insurance will cover all these costs, because this is devastating.
On the night of Wednesday,
That guy is through. What the fuck is he doing? Oh man, that motherfucker's through, man.
July 14th, after heavy rain, the fire department of the German city of Hagen received hundreds of emergency calls. The amount of precipitation exceeded 100 liters per square meter. The situation did not improve over the morning. "People are desperate," said a fire brigade spokesman. "Streets are flooded, cars are floating on water, several buildings have collapsed, and a local nursing home has been evacuated. In some parts of the city, the electricity was cut off." It is known that torrential rains and floods that hit western Germany have already claimed the lives of 42 people, more than 70 were missing, and thousands were evacuated.
Death toll rises to 103. I think that's the one we're about to play now. Yep, DW News.
Shell-shocked survivors left to pick through what's left of their homes. Emergency workers had tried to warn towns that a flood was coming, but in Walporzheim, in West Germany's Rhineland-Palatinate, residents say they had almost no time to react.
Slovakia, let me search up German the floods map. Let me look that up. I want to see where the floods happen. So the flood maps right here. Okay, so wow, a lot of it hit Eastern Germany. Right here, Eastern Germany, right here, extreme danger. Wow, look at that. Let me do something real quick. Oh yeah, Rhineland Flats. That's where the majority of the damage came. In that Rhineland area. So it's pretty much wrong. It's not only Western Germany that got destroyed, but also Eastern Germany as well. So the whole country of Germany just getting ravished, bro. Ravished. Let me do this. Let me go to Germany map. Stuttgart, Leipzig, Weimar Republic. I'm just joking, Weimar. So basically, the flooding happened over here. Okay, you can see right here from Cologne, from Bonn, all the way down up, reaching to the Stuttgart area. Which is interesting. Okay, Hamburg, Bremen, Hanover, Berlin, which is up there in the east. They all got touched as well. You got Munich down there in the south. Okay, so majority of the damage happened on the sides right here, up close to Belgium, Netherlands, the border, and also on the west, or Slovakia on the east. Okay, Slovakia. So I was correct. Western Germany was the one that got messed up the most because this is west. I was confusing the two, Slovakia. So Western Germany got hit a lot, but also the East as well. Yeah, parts of the East. I'm gonna show you right here, back in this map, that got hit as well. So, damn, that's crazy.
Before their homes were hit by raging floodwaters. All of a sudden, the water breached the dam. All the houses here are the same height, so when the water came up from the cellar at lightning speed, we all jumped in our cars and drove up the mountain. We had to get ourselves to safety. Many towns don't have electricity or clean water. Internet has been cut off and phone reception is down. Volunteers have come from nearby areas, bringing whatever equipment they had to help clear roads and houses. When I arrived here, it was a catastrophe. The entire road behind me was covered in branches and wrecked cars, all mashed into one up to this height. You couldn't access the buildings left and right, and we didn't know what we would find in the rubble. We were warned that we might come across bodies and that we should alert the fire brigade and the police. Many towns are still cut off from help. Some major roads are flooded or broken apart. The authorities say overflowing dams could still burst, threatening more homes and forcing residents to stay clear of the area. While the weather has cleared in some areas, more rain is expected.
Well, there are several areas across Western Germany affected by this flooding. And DW's Julia Saudelli is on the ground for us in Rhineland-Palatinate. She is in the city of Walporzheim, tracking the latest for us there. Let's bring her in now, Julia. Tell us what the situation is like where you are.
Started here to move on from the initial shock of what happened and actually taking stock of the real damage that has occurred here. As you can see here behind me, there is debris strewn all over the streets, mud inside the homes. It is filled with mud. Windows and doors have been torn away, and people are slowly starting to clean up. We don't see many authorities or...
And I'm gonna say this: most of the homes in Germany, they're not built for floods. Even though that whole area is, for the most part, kind of flat compared to other lands such as Norway and Sweden up there in the north. But Germany, the whole area is kind of flat. It's like a flat surface. It's not as flat as the Netherlands because that's the flattest uh, part of the earth. Over there in the Netherlands, along with Denmark as well. But Germany's pretty flat, so the waters can fill up quickly, and that can cause an issue or problems for the houses because they're not built, okay, for these floods. Most of the people in Germany, you got to understand the population of Germany is about, let me look it up. I don't want to misquote it. Population, it's a huge population over there. Germany, population of Germany. Population of Germany is 84 million. Wow. And this is just a total estimate. So Germany, the population of Germany is 1% of the world's population. That's a big number. Now it might not be big in like the whole grand scheme of things, but for a country to have 1%, okay, of the world's population, that's crazy, man. So there are a lot of people in Germany and a lot of homes, and most of the people in Germany outside of the cities, okay, they got the modern cities, the big metro metropolis cities, where all the tech and the shopping centers are, like over here. You got you're having a demographic problem. But I'm gonna show you guys over here, all these cities over here, like Frankfurt, all these modern cities. They're the ones that usually can deal with the floods because of the infrastructure of the roads. Okay, they have drains. That's one thing. They have a lot of drains in the cities. Okay, so they're able to deal with the emergency and flush out the waters as well because the infrastructure there is good. But in the rural areas where most of the people live in villages, if you guys don't know, villages actually exist in Germany. And I'm not talking about like people just living in huts or whatever, because that's what comes to your mind when you think of a village. But they actually live in villages, okay, like rural areas, have like a farmland. Well, close to you, most of them now they have cars. They drive. If they need some, they drive like a good hour to the local place. But that's besides the point. A lot of these homes, they're not built for the floods, especially the ones that are out there in the rural country, outside of the cities. So that's a total devastation, okay, to the people, especially when that flood came. These houses, they cannot sustain these high rushing waters, especially when the water is leveled. Okay, that's devastating, man. Everything's just gonna get swept away.
Or firefighters here helping clean up. There are a lot of volunteers who came to this town with tractors and other equipment to try to clean up the streets. A lot of them are farmers from the neighboring region. And we spoke to one of these volunteers and asked them what he saw when he first arrived here in the town. Let's have a listen.
When I arrived here, it was a catastrophe. The entire road behind me was covered in branches and wrecked cars all mashed into one up to this height. You couldn't access the buildings left and right, and we didn't know what we would find in the rubble. We were warned that we might come across bodies and that we should alert the fire brigade and the police. It was all very uncertain, and we were working with our own tools that we brought with us.
Julia, we hear there really is all hands on deck in what is an unstable situation still. And we're hearing reports that in the region there are still 1,300 people unaccounted for. Is there any update on finding those people?
Yeah, this is news we heard yesterday evening from the authorities here in the region, and we haven't heard of an update since then. The authorities are hoping that these people that are unaccounted for, that it is because the communication via telephone and internet is very spotty, very difficult at the moment, and that's why they can't reach all these people. But there is fear that there will be more dead discovered and found in the coming hours.
Julia, we see some of the destruction there behind you. Can you give us an idea, or is there an idea already, of how big the damage is?
Authorities haven't yet given a number.
Death count, Germany, floods. It's the death count right now. No, it's not 98. That's another bullshit. Oh, okay, so it's 98 plus 43, at least 40 dead. Wow, 150. 150. 150, man. You know? So that death rate, the casualties are rising. Wow, 168. That's the newest number I've seen. And that's at least on Saturday, man. Burst rivers and flash floods this week. 168. Wow. Damn. The Most High is terrible, man. 168, man. Death count rises to 168. So I believe that's the latest number right now.
Number or an amount for how much the damage amounts to in terms of money. But as we see here, it is a serious situation. There are entire trees and cars strewn across streets, mud everywhere. The ground floors of homes are completely inundated with mud, and it's going to take time and money to clean up the town here and to start rebuilding afterwards.
DW's Julia Saudelli reporting there with the very latest from Valporzheim. Thank you. It's not just Germany that's experiencing heavy rains and flooding. Neighboring Belgium and the Netherlands have both seen unusually heavy downpours. Rising water levels caused rivers to burst their banks, sending water gushing through the streets. Belgian authorities have reported 12 deaths, and they're urging people to seek higher ground to stay safe.
Perched precariously on their rooftops, these residents in the Belgian province of Liège are doing all they can to stay dry. The high waters forced them to take refuge where they could. A catastrophe. In 60 years, I've never seen anything like this. So it's really unusual. And I think that it's going to cause a lot of trouble for a lot of people.
That's the Most High, you know? This is Isaiah 29, and I'm going to start at verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord, Yahweh Shai of hosts, with thunder, okay, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire, okay? So this is the Lord's doing. You know, as you can see from the, I believe she's an Edomite woman. I could be wrong, but you know, 9 times out of 10, she probably is an Edomite woman. As you can see, what she said all throughout the years she has lived, and she looked pretty old. You know, up to her 90s, hundreds. Now she could be younger because uh, usually these Edomites or having that pale skin, it ages you quickly because melanin melanin fights or it's pretty much anti-aging. You know, it keeps you young and youthful. Okay, that's the one of them another plus beauty of having melanin, which is not all Israelites have melanin now because of all the scattering, but that's gonna be again in the kingdom because melanin is a beautiful thing. It keeps you youthful and it's an anti-aging ingredient. That's besides the fact. She said all throughout the years of her living up to about, I would say, 90 years old, she has never, okay, in those 60 years, I believe she's 60, because she said in those 60 years. In those 60 years, she has never seen anything uh, catastrophic as this event, okay? That's how you know this is of the Lord, man. So you tell me this lady has been on the earth in this lifetime because she's been here in other lifetimes as well for 60 years and she has not seen something this catastrophic before. That's how you know it's of the Lord, man. You know that the Lord is beating and threshing the earth. Precept that came to mind. Um, let me see. Let me see if I can find. Check that precept out right there. Let me look at Isaiah 28. I'm not sure if this is the precept I was looking for, but okay, that's not it. Let me check again. Yeah, here it is. Nahum 1 and 3. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Shai. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Okay? You Edomites. Okay? They're the Caucasian race for the most part. The Lord has his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Okay? So you got to imagine it's like the Heavenly Father. He's blowing the dust off his feet, and that's those are the clouds, the storm that's coming in. That just shows you the magnificent power of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the rest of this video and hear what she has to say. Then I'm gonna go ahead and bring in the scripture. And then Lord's will I can finish these 2 videos. I'm gonna close it out.
Residents are relieved to get to safety, but also devastated by what they've had to leave behind. I'm relieved, but I've lost everything. I live on the ground floor, and there on the ground floor everything has been destroyed. It was hard. I had to open the door of my mother's bird cage so the bird could escape, but my 3 cats are still up there. In the Netherlands, Limburg province has also been hit with flash floods and heavy downpours. Thousands of people have been evacuated. The army has been sent in to help rescue and flood prevention efforts.
Alright, on to the next video.
Einfach, wie das gesamte Gelände schlichtweg unter Wasser steht. Wer uns helfen will, kann eine Patenschaft übernehmen, kann uns etwas spenden.
You can see the land of Germany right here. It's pretty much flat, you know. It's not as flat as the Netherlands, but it's flat compared to other countries, you know, most countries of the earth, you know.
Enorm. Als Privatbesitzer bekommen wir keine finanzielle Unterstützung.
Ansbach, 9. Juli 2021.
Und nach dem ersten Ausmaß ist das wirklich das Ausmaß der Schäden ist uns jetzt gar nicht klar.
Welcome to Bad Säckingen Beach. Heute haben wir etwas Hochwasser. Das heißt, das Baden ist direkt möglich, ab ins Wasser, in die Fluten.
Und Möglichkeiten hat wirklich.
I'm not gonna go ahead and play the whole video. I'm gonna just go ahead and get these few precepts out. This is Isaiah 24. Let me start at verse 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord has spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world, and this is talking like the whole world, languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people, the prideful people of the earth do languish. So even though these people are all prideful deep down, thinking that they have everything deep down, man, in their spirit, they're mourning. Because the scripture says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Okay? But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So the people are in a state of mourning right now. You can't see it on their faces, but deep down in their spirit, man, they're mourning because they know that this is not how to live. This is not the way of life. Okay? People are struggling out here to meet days ends. You know, to pay their rent, to pay their bills, to be on top of everything. There are so many obstacles in Esau society. Not even talking about America alone, but I'm talking about his power structure over the whole world. How he has built things. You know, so many documents you have to provide. You got to get this document. I got to get this ID. I got to get this. I got to get that. You got to worry about going to school. You got to get this. You know, there's just so many obstacles in life. Okay, you people are working 10-hour jobs only to come home with like 5 hours downtime. They can't even raise their children right. You know, because why the state the country's raising their children, not them themselves. Now you have people which are, I would say they're blessed, that have their woman at home. They call them traditional housewives, and they have the stay at home. They call them stay at home moms. They have the woman that doesn't work. She might do. I know some that might do a little small part time gig like Uber or whatnot. You know, and that's it, only for a few hours if they need just a little bit of money. But you have some that just don't work and they just stay at home and watch and teach the kids. They watch over the kids, they teach them, they guide them, you know, to raise and nurture them, you know. This is a beautiful thing. But the problem was that it's very hard to do in a society, okay? America, even across the world, because of the finances, you know, the financial struggle, okay, and the hell that they have put, okay, with all the taxation and everything. It's a financial hell that we're living in, you know. Now, if you're wealthy, you can do that. That's a very fortunate thing, and that's what most athletes do. They'll have their woman at home, taking care of the children and whatnot. You know, that's what I would have. You know, I'll tell my woman that she can't work no more. She got to stay at home and watch the children and raise and nurture the kids. You know, but yeah, there are some that, you know, they don't have that much money, but they're making ends meet with that lifestyle, which is a good thing, you know. So it just shows you that this place is hell, man. And you know, deep down in my spirit, man, I don't feel good living in this society at all, you know. I just don't feel good. I look at the people, I'm like, is this the way of life? They're lining up. Gotta check out your bags. You gotta remember to have your ID. This is not the way of living, man. You know, deep down, my spirit is mourning because my body's breaking down from constantly working and doing these crazy long shifts. That is just not. It's not expedient. You know, And Lord's will, I can get another job. It is all in the hands of the Lord, you know. I'm pretty busy as of now. I gotta, shit's crazy, man. But anyways, I'm gonna continue reading on. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people, the proud people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. Okay? Now that everlasting covenant is really talking about the Israelites, but uh, you can also say this applies to Esau as well, because when Esau took a hold of the Bible and started proclaiming themselves as God-fearing people, they pretty much, how do I say this? I'm not gonna say they took on the covenant, but they showed to the world that they were taking on the covenant. So when they broke the law, statutes, and commandments and changed the ordinances of what the days and years were, because it says in Daniel that they have time to change times, seasons. Let me go ahead and get that. Starting with these Roman Edomites. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Daniel 2. Let me go to Daniel 7. Here it is. This is Daniel 7 and 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. Okay? It's talking about the elites of Esau, Edom. Well, pretty much the whole Edomite nation, I would say that. That shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And that's what they're doing with every day-to-day society, man. We're busting our ass off. Most brothers in the truth are living paycheck to paycheck. We're struggling out here. And being rich is not good, because it turns your heart away. That's what the scripture says. A gift, pretty much, a gift destroyeth the heart. Roughly paraphrasing. Riches, they corrupt you, because you forget about you living in poverty. That's why it says in the book of Sirach, when thou art rich, forget not the day of poverty. When thou art poor, forget not the day of riches, or when you were rich. And the thing to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand unto a time, and times, and the dividing of time. Okay, the precept to that is the Lord has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. Go ahead and get that, because the Esau can only rule for a short amount of time. That's why it says Daniel 12:1. No, I don't think it's Daniel 12. I believe it's Daniel 12:1. It says the devil shall come down to having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. I believe it's in Daniel 12. Not Daniel. Salaki, Revelation 12. This is Job 14 5, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So Esau, your rulership has a limit. And once it gets to that limit, the Lord's just gonna cut it off. Okay, the Lord is just gonna bring his prophecies to pass full speed and cut it off. Cut off your rulership. So I'm gonna jump back to Isaiah. Verse 6. Therefore has the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. And those are the nuclear missiles. The ultimate curse are the lasers from the chariot, or even the UFOs. Those are the curse. And also the plagues as well. Those nuclear missiles that will be shot on America, Babylon the Great, and also other places of the earth. So from there, I'm going to go to Hosea chapter 4, verse 3. Verse Yeah, let me start at verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. Okay? Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood, which this really applies to America because this is where the curses are heavy. You know, the heavy set of the curses are over here in America, and America is where you can find all 12 tribes living here. You know, inside America, you can find a tribe of Reuben here, tribe of Gad. You can find a tribe of Naphtali. You can find a tribe of Asher, Issachar, Judah, Benjamin. What else? Zebulon. You can find all 12 tribes here. Okay, you won't find all 12 tribes in one country in one land. Anywhere else, you know, you might find sprinkled tribes of the northern and the southern kingdom together, but you won't find all 12 living inside the land. You know, you only find that here in America. That's why the heavy set amount of curses are poured upon America. You know, therefore shall the land mourn. You can see that it says it's singular for land, so this is talking about a place, a country, which is America. And every one that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven. Yeah, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. You know. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end it off with this precept right here. This is really talking about World War III right here. This is Jeremiah 49 verse 12. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have it surely drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So all the cup of judgments that Jake has caught, Esau's now starting to catch it, you know? And the ultimate judgment is gonna be slavery for 1,000 years, you know? It's gonna be that hardcore slavery, that bondage, you know? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and go to this precept. Calamity upon Teman. Go ahead and get that. Oh, it's in the same verse. This is Jeremiah 49, verse 8. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the den, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. Okay, and the Lord is visiting Esau now. So, Lord's word is the lesson was edifying. Salaki, if I'm a little bit slow to speak, but I'm very tired right now. You know, I'm very tired. But I decided to do this lesson because it's been on my mind for a while. You know, for like the past couple of days, 2 days. You know, I just haven't gotten the time to it because I would say I was being a little bit lazy, but not only that, I was also trying to focus on work and other things. You know, but Lord's will. This lesson is edifying to you. Lock him out there. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, giving all praise, honors, and glories due to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught me and broke down the scriptures correctly. Okay, who had the 100% truth, and peace, blessing, and salutations to hopeful elect. They 144,000 to 1/3. All right, scattered around the four corners of the earth. All right, until next time, Shalom.